you? It's a new year. It's the same old crew. We're back. And it's Audio Who. Right here, right now. And there's a drone overhead somewhere. And today we are here to sit and tackle the novel adaptation of the 1996 Fussion story by Big Finish Productions entitled Cold Fusion. And no, that is not the razor that I have not failed to use in light of the fact I need a shave. It is a story with Pete Davidson, Sylvester McCoy, and a whole batload of companions, ghosts in the machine, and someone from the Doctor's past who, shall we say, is well connected. So what did we begin and what do we think about this? Well, you're about to find out, folks, but before we get to that, it's your panel for this evening. Early doors on a Monday morning, it's the thunder from down under. AJ, how's it going?
Hey guys, how are you?
Good to have you, man. Alex, first time in Audio Who? Or if it isn't, I must have been drunk the last time you were on. How's it going, man?
All right, good. From Massachusetts over here.
That indeed you are. Bag your beans. All the way down in the nutsack is Texas, Tim Wells. Timbo, how's the weather?
How you doing? It's pretty cool.
Excellent. NYC's own Mr. Will Medina, he's bubbling up, ready to cheer on his Giants. How's it going, Will?
Hey, how you doing, everybody?
Good to have you, man. The Scourge of Tottenham, looking as boisterous as ever. Philip, how's it going, man?
Good evening, Goldilocks. Very well.
I don't know why I put up with this treatment, I really don't. And all the way from Cali, it's Tardis Blue, it's Sue. Sue, how's it going?
Groovy, thanks, hi.
Good to have you. And finally, I can see my full face in the square. So yeah, guys, Cold Fusion. It's a long one. It's a doozy. 6 parts. But it's very enjoyable. So where do we begin with this opening thoughts? AJ, now your opening thoughts on Cold Fusion, please. Pete Davidson, Sylvester McCoy. Oh crap, here we go. Matthew Waterhouse, Janet Fielding, Sarah Sutton, Yasmin Bannerman, and the guy who plays Chris's name escapes me. Somebody help me.
Travis Oliver.
Travis, there we go. I knew it had something to do with Hex. Oliver. Okay, Travis Oliver. Go for it, man.
Alright, yeah, it was a very long story, like you said. I sat up all night last night listening to this one before the
you're
podcast.
keen. Yeah.
I had to listen to it again anyway. It was a very good audio. Seven only appears towards the beginning and towards the very end, and he's sort of in the background watching and, you know, playing with the cards and doing what he does. But I agree with Tegan. I find that what Chris was doing with the Australian is highly annoying.
Oh, poor Bruce. Yeah.
It was annoying.
Tell that to the writer. He knew how to wrote that in.
I know that, but I'm saying that we do not all sound like that, and he was misquoting left and right, using the theme from Neighbours to back up three.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. But overall, it was a good story in itself, though.
Excellent. And off the wall, underhanded Aussie. There you go, eh? And no, that we're not talking about Paul Hogan. Philip, how about you? Opening thoughts?
I enjoy this. I mean, I don't think I ever read the book proper prior to this audio coming out.
Oh, scandalous. Shame.
It has big words. You don't know it.
Yeah.
I can't do that. So I went in it with a fresh view of it. And you know what? I kind of enjoyed it. And like AJ said, Chris Quedge, I hate that name that he has though. Chris Quedge, doing his Australian thing. That was the most stand-up comedians for me out of it all. And the other thing was when Nissa accidentally sees him naked in his hotel room. That was
if you're going to be in your hotel room sitting there floating free and somebody barges in, what can you do? It's no different for the Hispanic maids, so, you know.
Yeah, but she must have thought, oh my God, it was never like this on Trigon, but never mind. And I did like the idea of patience. And you know what, this, speaking of patience, I'm wondering, was it too much of an intrusion to go that far into their kind of history like that, or do you think it would have been nice to expand upon that in other kind of like written prose?
I wouldn't say it was an intrusion. It was flashbacks through mind.
In regards to Doctor Who lore, is it an intrusion to add that sort of thing to the canon?
But again, what is lore? Lore is whatever the writer writes down, whether it's book, audio, or TV. There is no lore.
remember, this was made in the wilderness years. This was the only Doctor Who you had. There was nothing wrong with him trying to expand upon its history. So
Yeah, but then, like I say, would you then say that when he mentions about being born from the loom, would you accept that as being something that actually is the case?
it is now. That's the way they wrote it.
There you go. Okay, that's what I want to know. But otherwise, beyond that, it's an excellent audio. It is long, but it's enjoyably long. And go and get it, people, if you haven't got it. There you go.
Dockly. Alex, how did you find this? Opening thoughts?
Yeah, I liked it, and I also like the idea of a time lady. It doesn't seem to be enough in the Doctor Who universe. I did enjoy it. It's worth a listen. What is it, over 6 hours long? A little bit?
6 parts, half an hour.
Yeah. 3 hours. Just there, 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Okay, mate. Timbo, go for it, man. What do you reckon for Hell?
Well, like I just kind of mentioned, the remit of the book series was to go big and do what you couldn't do on TV for the last 26 years. That was what they were trying to make it a little more adult, make it a little more clever, more cleverly plotted. Because you have so many pages rather than just 4 to 6 30-minute parts or 25-minute parts. So they could do that, and this is a good example of that, because there's a lot of stuff in this story that you wouldn't have ever seen on television. But looking at it from today's point of view, this was the middle period when it's the wilderness years, they call it. So this is only Doctor Who you had. I think they did a pretty good job. I never really read many of the books, but I'm intrigued to know more, because this is an interesting idea that they set up here with the Doctor having a possible wife or this time lady that shows up out of nowhere. I mean, she wasn't even a lady before that too. They threw in the latest thing with the gender swapping as well. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a very good story, though. I think it doesn't drag, actually. I mean, because you wouldn't want to listen to all 6 parts at once, I wouldn't think. But I mean,
No. It's maybe something you should do.
it's got a lot going on, and they keep all the characters pretty busy. I mean, you got 2 doctors. Like AJ said, the 7th is barely there for the most part. But that's because he's behind the scenes doing what he does best, manipulating things. And then you got 5 companions they have to play with. So I think they did a pretty good job with it.
They did quite good with that, I must admit. It's standard formula. You pair them off with each other, and they've got their own wee assignment to deal with. So they kept everybody busy, which was a good thing. Well, what about you, mate?
Well, I'm a little bit mixed on this. And on the one hand, it's a great audio story, which I don't have the book myself, but hopefully one day I get my hands on it. But I'm a little bit disappointed because the rumors going around that this might be the last Big Finish,
Novel adaptation.
Novel adaptation. I'm a little bit upset.
Yeah.
You introduced the character, we named Patience. Maybe that's not her real name, and we're not gonna have no more audio about this because I was talking earlier to Philip about it. See if she appeared in other novels, and maybe they would have done adaptation of it. So in the one hand, it's a great story by itself, but if they're not gonna do any more novel adaptation, it's a little bit disappointing about that. But on the other hand, like everybody's saying, it's great that all the companions stood out here. Yeah, we can make fun of this walking in the room and seeing the young man new like that. But it's not surprising because she is a naive young lady that needs to know more about the world real fast. So of course Tegan's still being homesick and want to go home. And Adric, being which stood out. He stood out in this one because I liked him when he was with the 7th Doctor. Not now. He stood up with the 7th Doctor. That really stood out pretty good right there. And of course, the 7th Doctor's companion Roz was the one that's going. She was the one you could see exploding, doing all the heavy stuff. While this knucklehead was having time. He's busy flirting with the ladies, man. Try to have his way with one or the other. So that all stood out pretty good. Now we're going to nip it later on the other inside the story of the other character that's there like that, so I'll get in that.
All right, fair point, mate. And Sue, your turn.
Yeah, I really liked the fact that it was 2 doctors and that you at the beginning you had the 7th Doctor almost run into Adric and Nyssa and Tegan. Almost. I mean, it was just like hair's breadth, and then he was like, oh. And then the 7th Doctor, later on, he says things like, death is some things are set are able to be changed, and other things will be set in stone, sort of thing. And he kind of, it looks like it in my mind, I saw him look right at Adric. And
that was a test, yeah.
For both things, because he
Drop the hand. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So there was that, and I liked patience. I liked the fact that the fifth Doctor did the first Doctor's Wanderers in the Fourth Dimension speech.
Mm.
You know, and mentioned Susan, and you know, having all these flashbacks was really cool. I mean, even the flashback with Patience was really, really cool. And then the Unitartis was pretty awesome. Like the whole, I like the fact that they sit around and debate and do openings and closings and debate whether or not Lethbridge Stewart was hyphenated or not. And it's just, you know,
Throw some names at there.
Yeah.
All right. Excellent. And for myself, yeah, much like Texas done there, I didn't read the book. So you get into this way, little or no expectations. You can get to it with a fresh outlook and no have to compare it to anything. Hello Internet, I'm talking to you. You know, it's a really enjoyable outing. Sylvester McCoy has been mentioned, is barely in it, but he does his job. He's there in the shadows, and he's the master chess player doing what has to be done. I like the fact that they gave Roz a hell of a lot more to do in this, because I felt that there wasn't a lot for her to do in Damaged Goods. It was more about Chris got to try and get the smile, and failing miserably. Dumbass. But there we go. So it was good to get another insight into Yasmin Barrowman's take on Roz. The comedy with obviously Chris Geising as Bruce, and we need Nissa and Tegan in the hotel has been touched upon pretty good as well. And I like the fact that they're stuck in the middle of this war with these ghosts in the machine type things, and you've got this like government versus resistance type story, you know, in the background. There's a lot of C or a B plot. That's quite good as well. So there's a lot going on here. It might need more than 1 or 2 listens, but all in all, it's a really, really enjoyable adaptation. Good job, Big Finish. Can't grumble. Right, guys, any events, characters, or instances within this story that stood out for you? Philip.
Oh, okay. I like the idea how you know where it slots in the Fifth Doctor's timeline.
Just after 40 Doomsday, is it? Or Cast Revolt, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, basically just after. I would say 40 Doomsday, to be honest. Yeah, just after that. And the alien protagonist, those weird. What
were they called again?
I can't remember the name of what they're called again. I can't say the word. I can't say it.
Farutu.
The Farutu. So they feature in a BBC book for the 10th Doctor called Forever Autumn, and that's where that's where I was first aware of them.
Well, they're bringing back for Tennant. Okay, right.
Favorite parts of it. I do like the bit where where the Fifth Doctor was pushed under the train to stop it.
Oh, Roz. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I thought that was quite. Oh my lord, Adric. I didn't mention Adric in regards to the story itself. He was quite well fleshed out here, quite well done. Because normally he's not. He doesn't do much, but here he's utilised very well. So I'm quite happy that he got a lot to do.
Yeah.
And he will get a lot to do in the next upcoming new one as well. So
he may have been well fleshed out and had a hell of a lot to do, but the little Scotsman had to throw a wee digger in there and go, "Oh, hello, Adric." yeah. You tell him, wee man. Yeah. Your number's up soon, son. Timbo, how about you, mate?
Well, for once, the listener knows a lot more about what's going on than the characters, because they keep on having misunderstandings about who the Doctor is, because you've got the one TARDIS team interacting with the other TARDIS team without ever having been introduced. So it's pretty clever how that goes on, and you actually know what's going on and they don't. That and it's just like Philip just pointed, it works out well the way they paired them up. For example, like the bit where Rod says, well, we need a mathematical genius to figure it out, and he's already got it figured out, Adric.
Yeah.
Because in other words, that's the right companion to be in that situation. So it's very clever the way they put the characters together.
Yeah, that it was.
And it's Chris Fay, by the way.
Quay? Say?
No,
How do you pronounce it?
Fay.
Yeah, but in the books, in the audio, they call it, he pronounced it as Quedge.
No, he is. It's a joke in the other one, Original Sin, that it's actually Chris Fay, but he pronounces it Quedge.
To make it easier for him because they screw it up.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. Oh my God.
Okay, now that I've sorted out Chris's name.
Well, we could call him Mr. Jovanka if you want.
Well, there you go. Yeah, just call him Big Bruce. Yeah, you the little ripper. That I've insulted down under. AJ, you're up.
Yeah, I like the part where Tegan goes up to the droid in the hotel and shows her passport. I'm amazed the droid didn't look at it and go, "This is over 1,000 years out of date. What the hell?"
Mm.
Also, with the glove gun, you got to make it shoot guy going.
Oh yeah, the glove gun.
You're in the 30th century, and you're making gun noises with the amount to shoot. Basically, I found that very, very funny. When the doctor and Adric are in the prison cell, doctor's like, "Top bunk, you're my little bitch, Adric."
Always and forever. Good one, man.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry, mate, you're not done. What you got?
Just one more. The Futuru, the aliens towards the end of the story where they mention they're like the Lords of Time from another universe.
Yeah.
Futuru is actually an anagram of word future.
There you go. Every day's a skill day on Audio Who.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. Alex, how about you? Understand it?
Yeah, I did enjoy. It didn't seem as though Nissa had a lot to do, even though I did enjoy the scene where she sort of bumps into the person in the hotel. Tegan was up to her usual self. I did enjoy Patience. I did enjoy Peter Davidson. I did enjoy Sylvester McCoy. They did have some plot holes, but the interaction and the interplay between most of the characters was very good. I'm not quite sure about the villains. They seemed a little lacking.
Yeah.
But again, it's hard, especially if you're a beginner, to try to balance all these characters and give them a personality and give them conversations. So obviously, it's a lot harder than it would seem.
No, to be fair, you already know the majority of them. The only two you might have struggled with was Chris and Ross.
Right. So, I mean, it is still good in many ways.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Stu, you're up. Answer if you.
Okay, well, Tim basically took mine with Adric being a math genius and solving the equations ahead of time, and I thought that was really cool. And I even made a note of it, math's excellence. Yeah, so that was fun. And the other thing that I liked is the Blinovich bombs.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Of which one is still remaining. Yes. Yeah.
Yes, with one still remaining, but the rest of them got Blinovich, and so that was spectacular. And the you can't both reverse the polarity of the neutron flow.
Yeah.
Because,
So good they had to get that in there twice.
Yeah.
Is that you?
That's it. That's all.
Oh, hyphenate your sentences, please, dearie. All right, well, you're up, mate. What do you reckon?
Of course, it stood out with the companions, how they, like we said, how they cross with each other like that, and in different circumstances, like, of course, Nisa, we've been mentioning her, and of course, Ross throwing the fifth doctor into the tracks, and how, each one thought the doctor was their doctor until they saw his face. And that's not my doctor. That was pretty good. And of course, what stood out with in continuity, like you heard the seventh doctor mentioning, oh, we ran into each other a bunch of times. And one time we had to team up all together to save Gallifrey, which where's that from? And of course, the fifth doctor noticed that was, you could say that was his future self, of course, because he never seen him before. And then in a little time, he noticed his voice was getting older, because that was like, you could say that was the effect of two doctors being there. So
Time differential.
yeah,
the time crash thing. Yep. Okay.
yeah. And of course, the seventh doctor mentioned how he met Omega more than one time like that. Of course, the patients made Tegan laugh, because the fifth doctor put his hand on her thigh like that. So look, he never done that. She's laughing her head off on that, which was stood up. It was pretty funny that, but it was nice. The way that when their mind contacted each other, the little stuff we get to hear from it, that was pretty nice to see. That's I wish in a way we get to see, we would have her come back to see more of what happened in the past, because I was asking, because before we did the show, I was asking a lot of questions of Phil, like how many kids they have and all that, and what's up and what happened to them. So he's not real aware of it, because I think he's only said there was only maybe 2 or 3 other books that has her in it.
Yeah. She was really good in this. Who played Patience? The actress, I believe this is one of her first roles with the company.
It was Christine Cavanaugh.
Yeah, see, that name's not familiar to me, so this must be something new they've got in. She's done a really good job on this, so fair play to her. For me, yeah, the majority's already been mentioned, guys. It's a comedy between the interplay of the companions. Like Will alluded to, when she was in the hospital bed and Davison's putting the hand on her thigh. Oh, look at that, I never done that, Tegan. I'll just get out of the window and look at this tree. I'm like, really? Yeah, you're okay. Why not? Yeah, sorry to harp on it again, AJ. I know you were utterly appalled, but some of the Aussie puns in this were just bloody funny for me, man. What else did we have? The foreshadowing of Adric's demise, as I mentioned earlier, with the little man. He would just start to get the wee digs in there. The resolution, where the bombs that one they detonated ended up getting into the machine and getting back to the place of origin, and ended up getting into the other dimension to look what was their name, the Frugal or the Frog? Fruitu. They were confined into another dimension, and then you had the conflict between both the doctors at the end, whereby McCoy done his thing, Davison didn't know he was going to do that, and he was basically pissed off at himself.
Yeah.
That was very good. And then you had the comedy right at the end, where
somebody said the magic word and he got.
We need to get the hell on out of here, but could we knock him out first, So, again, McCoy's been the master manipulator, whereas other incarnations might have been a bit more tolerable. That was more great with the story, really, was the abrupt ending. Davison gets KO'd, then they leave, then the theme music hits, and I'm going, well, what happened to him? Did he at least get revived? Where was the rest of them? Did we have any issues with Patience's, I don't want to use the word demise, but her exit in this story? Anybody?
Yeah, I'm a little bit upset about it, because I'm like, I said, this lady just regenerated, and then and according to David Tennant, she's under the 18 hours. She could have easily healed from that.
15.
Whatever hours, man. It was under that. So she could have came back at the end of that, regenerated.
Well, she might have been transmitted, not destroyed. We don't know.
No, she may have put missing. Yeah,
Do you guys think that she ended up in Gallifrey?
For her sake, she hope not, because they don't really like her over there.
Well, according, I heard that she was in the Infinity Doctors as well. That book.
Yes, she is. She's in that, and that's the reason why it wouldn't be prudent for her to return to Gallifrey, because she's on the run for being a pure Gallifreyan and not of Moon.
And then I heard that she might have died more than once and married to both the Doctor and the Time Lord Omega, possibly. I mean,
that's
the rumor, that she was married to Omega first.
Well, anyway, that gets back to the whole Capaldi line and Hellbent, where was it stole the president's wife or something, or what the hell it was. But anyway, that's conjecture for another day. Right, guys, open mic portion of the podcast. I think that's what I've been up before we get sucker rated and in the can.
Well, the only weird thing about this is that, of course, it's the gripe I got that this could be the final novelization audio.
Again, that's as things stand. Things get changed in the road. They just
They got so many other freaking books they could have put it on audio. I was hopefully waiting for golf opera or some of the other.
It's still getting the rights via the offer.
Yeah, but see, I gotta blame Big Finish on this because when we started doing the novelization, they did so many of the Seventh Doctor, they didn't give the other Doctors the chance to get their stories put out.
That's what bugged me a bit. It was too much of the Seventh Doctor run, and not enough.
Really, I mean, they're adapting new adventure stories, and
I know that, but I know that, but the thing is, when they started doing the Missing Avengers, they didn't do that many that quick because they, like you said, they were doing a lot of the new adventures, and they didn't even they jumped around on the new adventures because Cold Fusion is a missing adventure, and then the Roz and this guy's first appearance, Original Sin, it was released the same day, and that was a new adventure. But
they only done 3 missing adventures. I've done 2 Tom Baker and this one.
3 Tom Bakers.
3 Tom Baker.
Oh, Romance of Stone. Sorry, yeah. So they only done 4 for the missing adventures.
Here's the thing: we don't know. It might be a rights issue because simultaneously BBC Books was releasing audiobooks for at least a couple of new adventures. So it could be that the BBC said, "Hey, wait a minute now, we got this. You can't do that." We don't know. I mean, it's odd that they worded it that way, that this will be the last one, but maybe they've looked through them and decided these are the only worthy ones to do, because according to a lot of websites, a lot of the books weren't that good. So, I mean, it depends on what they think is worthy of adaptation.
And there's obviously ones that they probably can't do without recasting as well. So,
well, it's like at least 2 6 Doctor story that really should have been, that could be audio, especially the one with the Cyberman killing ground, and of course the one with and then the one with the, I think you know the name of it, the one with the Ronnie, that could be done. I mean, we could use the new Ronnie to play that role, but that's the way it has to be. But
Von Rodman, well, they might get back to it. As again, we don't know if it's a rights issue. We don't know if they just want to create new ranges. I mean, hell, we thought the Companion Chronicles were done in Dusty. Then 2 years later, they brought them back in box set format. So,
that could be that might happen that way then.
Yeah, you know.
Man, they really want to take.
We assumed they were going for the Companion Chronicles to the early adventures, and that was it. And 2 years later, they brought it back 1 a year. So you just never know, you know. So, and then regarding the tail,
put your money away, Phil. I want to milk you for it.
Nothing else regarding the story, guys.
I like how we get to hear the Gallifreyan language in this one for the first time.
Yeah, non-translated. That was cool.
Well,
in regards to making multi-Doctor story, this one's on top, really, as opposed to ones that we've heard in different media across the board. I quite like this one. Would be number 1.
I think it's better to have a more laid-back multi-Doctor story than a big anniversary one where you have to please everybody and have everybody and the Tin Dog in, because it's not. Otherwise, it's not legit, Stephen Moffat. So I mean, I'm just saying that it's good to have a quieter one like this one, where it's really it's a 5-Doctor story where the 7th Doctor is manipulating everything behind the scenes. It's pretty clever. That's the way the book was written as well. It's a lot of fun, especially when you get to the last episode and they're bickering at each other, and it's the whole, no, I reversed it. No, you reversed it back. That kind of bit.
That was good. Yeah.
Adric's the one that figures out, well, he picked up the bomb before you reversed it back, so we're good.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, Adric was.
He was useful in this one.
He was yeah.
But I don't think he should try to that with his voice. Just use his regular voice, because he sounded.
Yeah, come on, Matthew Waterhouse, get a rest, man. Yeah, you know. Yeah.
He sounded kind of like a housewife or something. I don't know.
Well, it's green anyway. Right, guys. I do find it interesting though that they're bringing a hell of a lot of the new elements in there, like what would you tell? Oh, do you remember when we all got together and saved Gallifrey and
that must be an addendum, because that wasn't in the book.
Obviously, it wasn't in the book. They're blending everything together, Phil.
They're trying to make it a comprehensive story. You know, they take little bits and pieces and they sort of put it together.
Yeah,
it was cool. The thing that I like is when the 5th Doctor and the 7th Doctor did the And Patience, there was the contact moment that
Yeah.
was fun.
That's been discussed. All right, guys.
I've got one more question. Did Patience ever get dressed?
Yeah, she wore the doctor's coat.
Doesn't
No,
matter.
No. When they got picked up, like remember Tegan that was wearing that suit, that skin suit.
Yeah.
The same thing with her.
You don't actually think a character was walking about and basically naked apart from a jacket for
No, I
the
heard
whole
she
movie.
wearing the doctor's coat,
It
but
was for a big part of the story.
Yeah.
Tegan even tells him, no, you stay behind, you don't even have any shoes on.
No, but she went to the jacket on, to be fair, so there we go. So as if it was, eye-poking material. Right, guys. Are we done?
One more thing. We got a Supernatural Doctor Who crossover with this, with the chalk circle and the glyph.
Did they not do that in Battlefield?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
That was the seventh Doctor. Remember, this is the fifth Doctor story.
Well, but they have
I'm just saying, magic and Doctor Who. There you go. Supernatural
Well,
It
crossover.
happens every now and then.
it worked in.
There you go. China will not be taking this book, that's for sure. Right, guys. If we, it's that time again.
Since the holidays over, the ladies could take off their girdles.
The Mardi Gras already. Oh, well, there we go.
No, that's not 2 months.
Yeah, no, there you go.
Let
Okay.
them belly out.
Cold Fusion, Big Finish Novel Adaptation, Peter Davison, Sylvester McCoy, Janet Fielding, Sarah Sutton, Matthew Waterhouse, Travis Oliver, and Yasmin Bannerman. Philip, what do you give this out of 10?
I'm going to give this a resounding 10 out of 10 because I do love when stories hit in this kind of stride and give me a little bit of history of Doctor Who that we've not really heard before. So yeah, it was a complete enjoyment to listen to, and everyone did a good job in it.
High praise from Tottenham. Alex, what's your rating, buddy?
I'd give it an 8. Except for the plot holes and Adric, I'd say that everything else was very good.
We didn't exactly expand on the plot hole, but we'll leave it at that. Adric, I agree with you. It is great for Alex. All right. Sue, how about you?
I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Just great. So fun. Really great.
Sublime and succinct. AJ, what's the number from Down Under?
I was going to give it a 9 out of 10 because of Chris's portrayal of Bruce, but I'll give it a 9.5 out of 10 for this line. What's champagne and oysters?
Yeah.
Why not? Well, it's the view of our NYC, mate.
I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. It had a lot of great, funny moments, and everybody got along great. Played their roles great. And anytime that you can get in a fifth Doctor story where him getting knocked out, not flapping his mouth, is great to me.
Oh.
And no cricket balls were hurt in the making of this audio. Timbo, how about you, mate?
Or celery.
Oh,
No, but yeah, I'll give it a 9.5 out of 10. It was very entertaining, very funny, and had a lot of cool ideas that we haven't seen before. So yeah, I'll give it a good score.
excellent. And I'll concur with Tim's point of view. Very entertaining indeed. And on that note, I will give it a solid 9 as well. You know, as I say, there's a lot covered and touched upon in this story, and there's something for everybody, even Adric. So yeah, there you go. Excellent. Well, guys, done, dusted, and the first one of 2017 is in the books, in the can, and the back vault has now been closed. Next week, we will be starting a little trilogy in the Big Finish main range.
I know this one.
Charbonneau. That comprises of 3 Doctors and 2 Masters.
You will obey me.
So for the love of God, I'm trying to create a crescendo here and you're diving in there. We will be... Put me off my stride now, bitch. We will be sitting here next week and we'll be tackling Falcon. If you get this wrong, it's a problem.
Okay, we will be tackling with Peter Davison, Doctor, You Will Obey Me. Then we'll move on in the next
Oh,
couple
that's it. That's next week, man.
That's it. Next week we do the other one.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So yeah, guys, after all that hoo-ha, we'll be taking and then You Will Obey Me with Pete Davison and good old Jeffrey Beavers playing a slightly, shall we say, camper master, crispy master than you might be used to. And there's a reason for that, and you'll find out why as the trilogy goes on. Please check out our regular buddies on the wacky, wonderful world of the YouTube. You've got Sue there with Tavis Blue Radio. You've got our buddy Dr. Freedom and his Omega Files and the Adventures of Dr. Freedom and Eric, along with his news broadcasts. You've got the guys and dolls over at Geeks Assemble. You've got Johnny Blue, Sammy Carter, Mike Shannon whenever he gets online, Lady Neil. And you've got Sue and Harry and the Adventures of Sue.
Doctor Who are you?
There you go. Check that out and read a book. For that, guys, we're getting the hell on out of here to the panel. Thanks for your attendance here this evening. And it's time to go drink, have a beer, and cheer on the Giants. We'll see you next week. And whack a wallaby. We'll see you next week when you will obey me. All the best, guys.